Quesadilla. He smiled then, and his whole face opened up, bright and sweet. His smile made him look like a kid. I don't remember much of what we talked about that night, except that he made me laugh a lot, and I could tell he was observant. He spent a long time picking out a certain IPA on the menu, but once it arrived, he barely touched it. I worried this meant he wasn't having a good time, but he didn't seem in a rush, and he wasn't doing the thing that some people did, glancing around to see who else might walk in. He didn't pull out his phone once. At some point during the evening, he told me that his father had left his mother before he was born, but when Charlie was a teenager, he'd looked his father up on the internet and confronted him at his place of work, a pharmacy in Janesville, Wisconsin. When his father realized who Charlie was, Charlie leaned over the pharmacy counter and said, "Don't worry, Dad. I'm not here to kill you." Then he'd clapped his father on the shoulder and walked out. He reached over and clapped my shoulder to show me how he'd done it. It was the first time he touched me. I could feel where his hand had just been, reverberating on my shoulder, even after he'd pulled it away. "Wow," I said. "What was it like to see him?" "One of his ears was really fucked up. It was kind of shriveled and pinched, and there was this piece of dead skin growing out of it. I might have stayed longer, but I couldn't stand looking at his ear." "Do you think that's weird?" he asked me. "That what I remember most is his ear?" "I don't think it's weird," I said. "I feel like it's usually those small things that you're not expecting that hit you the hardest." He nodded vehemently. "That's exactly it. The details." Then I told him that I hadn't seen my mom since I was 13. He sat back in his seat and looked at me, as if seeing me for the first time. "Is that why you write?" It was startling to be looked at like that. I felt like I could tell him anything, but I held back. I was already scared that I might never see him again. Nobody had ever asked me that question. I shrugged. "I'm sure it has something to do with it." He didn't try to kiss me at the end of the night, and at the time I took that to mean he didn't like me, but he called me the next day. When I saw his name on my phone, I panicked and almost didn't answer. I figured it must be an accident. "I know I'm supposed to make you wait 3 days, he said when I picked up, and the softness of his voice, his slightly monotone rasp, was so sexy to me that I could feel my whole body warm, as if a switch had been turned on. "So that you'll think I'm busy," he continued. "And maybe not that into you, but I'm more straightforward than that." "Oh," I said. "Well, thanks. Are you free tonight?" I told him I was busy, which was a lie, but free the night after. "Great," he said. "So what do you have going on? Another date?" "No, I'm hanging out with my friends." "Must be nice, having friends to hang out with." I couldn't tell if he was joking, but I laughed. "On Saturday, can I pick you up at 8? "Sure," I said. I was confused. I didn't know things could be so easy. I didn't know why he liked me. I also couldn't fathom why he thought I had dates lined up. I hung up the phone and masturbated. When he called back, not even an hour later, I was still lying on my bed thinking about him. "Hi," I said. "I started to write you a text, but it was getting really long, so I thought it would be better to call." I grew tense. "Okay." "I was wondering if you'd be up for hanging out at my place tomorrow." He paused. "I know it's a weird thing to ask since we just met, and I didn't want you to think I was creepily trying to lure you over or anything. The thing is, I'm a little tight on money at the moment, and I don't love spending $10 on a beer at a bar when it's pretty much the same amount to have a six-pack at home, you know? But all of that to say, If you